there, fantasy owners. Welcome to LTC Fantasy. Not sure if you're chiming in, watching via YouTube or listening via podcast, but really do appreciate you guys checking out the episode no matter how you're streaming it. Do want to thank our new and current subscribers. Really enjoying the support here. And today's our Week 2 strategy episode. So we're going to look at this week's schedule, try and find you that advantage to hopefully secure that fantasy win for you. Some things to note are the light nights are Wednesday. There's only 3 games. Friday, 3 games. And Sunday, 5 games. The heavier nights are Monday. There's 9 games. Tuesday, 8 games. Thursday, 12 games. And Saturday, 13 games. So do note it's also only a 2-game week for Chicago and St. Louis. So those 2 teams have obviously some lighter schedules. So if you have borderline players, those are the ones you want to drop. 18 teams have 3-game weeks, so quite a slew there. And it's 4-game weeks for a number of teams, them being Anaheim, Boston, Colorado, Columbus, Florida, LA, the Islanders, Philly, San Jose, Seattle, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. So we will cover all the 4-game teams to maximize on games played to hopefully help you push for the win there. Of the 4-game teams, Florida and Seattle, keep in mind, they play on all 3 of the light nights. So those will be really beneficial if you're able to grab some players from those teams. So we will cover them first. Then we will cover Anaheim, Boston, LA, Vancouver, and Winnipeg, who really start out with a heavy schedule. They play 3 games in the first 4 nights. So if you pick up some of them players, they're really going to benefit you early on in the week, and then maybe you can flip them for somebody else. And then we'll also cover all the remaining 4-game teams this week, them being Colorado, Columbus, the Islanders, Philly, and San Jose. So we'll basically jump right into it. Some D-men that play on all 3 light nights this week. Look at Gustav Forsling from Florida. He's owned in 50% of Yahoo leagues. He's 26 years old. Last year he put up 37 points in 71 games played and was a plus 41. So if plus minus is counted in your league, he definitely helped you out. He is getting an increased role this year with Uyghur gone. He's playing on that top pairing and second power play unit, and he really should even improve on those offensive stats just from getting the bump in ice time there. Another one from Florida is Brandon Montour. He's owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues. He's 28 years old. He's playing on the second pairing right now. He is getting some time on that top power play and top penalty kill unit. And he put up 37 points in 81 games played. And also, again, like with Uyghur gone, he's getting some increased roles, some increased ice time. So he should hopefully benefit you there. Another one is going over to Seattle. Look at Vince Dunn. He's owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues. He's 25 years old. Playing on that top pairing and second power play unit. They've gotten in 2 games so far, and he has 1 point in those 2 games. He also has 4 shots on goal and 1 block. It's only 2 games in, but Seattle has shown that they are going to score more this year. So I could see him being beneficial, especially on a 4-game week, and they're playing on the off nights there. Another one from Seattle's Justin Schultz. He's only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues right now. He's 32 years old. He's playing on that second pairing, but getting top unit power play time. And Seattle's power plays look pretty good. He has 2 assists in 2 games played, both of them being on the power play. He's had 3 shots on goal, 3 blocks, and 2 hits. Looks like he's really getting an added opportunity going over to Seattle that he wasn't getting in Washington. Obviously behind Carlson there and Orlov. So with that, Schultz might be a very nice pickup for you. So we'll go along to some forwards that play on all 3 light nights. Look at Carter Verhaeghe in Florida. He's listed as a left winger, owned in 49% of Yahoo leagues. 27 years old. He does play on that top line and second power play unit. Last year he put up 55 points in 78 games played. He is Barkov's wingman there. So just with playing with a player like Barkov, you should be able to get some piggyback points there and add some value for you. Another one in Florida is Anton Lundell, listed as a center, only 49% owned. He's only 21 years old, sorry. He's playing on that third line, but he does get second unit power play time and top PK time. That young, playing on all the special teams, shows you that he has some trust and some talent there. Last year he put up 44 points in 65 games played. He's a plus 33. He also had 56 blocks in those 65 games, so quite heavy block numbers, especially for being that young and in only 65 games there. He had a very impressive rookie season, obviously, and he should be a good option, especially in a 4-game week coming up for him. Going over to Seattle, look at Matty Beniers. Listed as a center, owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues. He's 19 years old, playing on that top line, top power play unit. So far in his 2 games this year, he put up 3 points, so really showing off there. 6 shots on goal and 3 blocks. He's a young, exciting player to watch and should really benefit you in week 2 if you can get him in your league there. Another one is Jared McCann. He's listed as center left wing, owned in 16% of Yahoo leagues. Playing on that top line and second power play unit. So far he has 1 point in his 2 games played. He put up 4 shots on goal and 3 hits. It's an okay start with Seattle, but they are showing that they are going to score more, so might be a viable option on 4-game weeks. We weren't even saying much of that last year, so might be improve Seattle anyways. Another one from Seattle's Andre Burakovsky, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues. He's only 27 years old, completing that top line in Seattle and on the second power play unit. And he's put up 2 points in his first 2 games there, has 7 shots on goal, really nice shot total there. He seems to be really fitting in Seattle, getting used to his new surroundings and being more of a premier piece on a team instead of a secondary piece like he was in Colorado there. Another one's Oliver Bjorkstrand, another new addition. Listed as a right winger, owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues. He's also 27 years old, playing on that second line but on the top power play unit. And he has 2 points in his 2 games played. He's fired 9 shots on goal, so shooting the puck a lot. And really similar to Burakovsky in the sense he's getting used to his new surroundings, being one of the premier pieces on his team, getting some added opportunity, and with that it seems to be paying off, especially early here. So now we'll go into some D-men that play 4 games this week, and 3 of them being in the first 4 nights there. So start in Anaheim there. Look at Cam Fowler, owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues. He's 30 years old, playing top pairing, second power play unit, and top PK unit. Last year he put up 42 points in 76 games played, and he had 116 blocks. He really is a solid stats for a short-term option in a fantasy league there, and he could really benefit you in that short term where they play 3 and 4 nights there. Another one's Jamie Drysdale, owned in 16% of Yahoo leagues, 20 years old, plays on that second pairing and second power play unit. Last year he put up 32 points in 81 games. He really had a very solid first full season in the league. He's a little bit down the depth chart with them bringing in Klingberg, but 3 games in 4 nights should be able to add some value to your roster there. Going over to Boston, look at Hampus Lindholm, owned in 63% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, top power play unit, second PK unit. He had 1 goal in his first game. He's a +1, 2 shots on goal, 1 hit, 1 block. With McAvoy and Grzelcyk out, he's getting every opportunity, and he'll get a ton of ice time until they return there. So definitely going to add some value to your roster if you can fit him in there. Next one I had was Sean Durzi, owned in 28% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the second pairing, second power play unit. He's played in 1 game. He had a solid game other than the giveaway towards the end there. He had 1 point in that game. He had 5 blocks, 3 hits. And with that giveaway, was a healthy scratch, assuming it was just a message sending thing. Should be back in the lineup the next game, but double check his status before then and should provide some value there for you. Next one's over in Vancouver. Look at Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He's owned in 19% of Yahoo leagues, 31 years old, playing second pairing, second power play unit, and top penalty kill. He had 29 points in 79 games played. He's well-rounded in his stats. He doesn't produce like he used to, obviously, but he'd be a safe pick, and with a condensed schedule, might be able to provide some value to your roster. Going over to Winnipeg, look at Josh Morrissey. He's owned in 56% of Yahoo leagues, 27 years old, playing on that top pairing, top power play unit there. Last year he put up 37 points in 79 games played, had 150 hits, 104 blocks, 173 shots on goal. So as you can see, he's a well-rounded defenseman. So if your league gets points or is a Cats league, etc., based on a lot of different categories, he'll be beneficial for you, especially with that condensed schedule. Another one's Neil Pionk in Winnipeg. He's owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues. He's also 27 years old, playing second pairing, second power play unit, second PK unit. There, he put up 34 points in 77 games played. He had 91 blocks and 185 shots on goal. He really is similar to Morrissey in the sense that he's decent, well-rounded. He's a little bit heavier on hits than Morrissey, but lighter on the blocks and shots on goal. And depending who's available in your league and if you have room, could be a good option for you. And the last one from Winnipeg's Nate Schmidt. He's basically available everywhere, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues. He's 31 years old, playing on that third pairing right now, but gets second unit power play time. Last year he put up 32 points in 77 games played, did have 104 blocks. If the other guys are gone that I've mentioned there, he is a viable option with that condensed schedule. That's why I bring him up there. So we'll go along now to some forwards that have 4-game weeks, and 3 of them being in the first 4 nights there, really condensed schedule, which if you get one of them and use them for 3 games and drop them, etc., you might get some really nice value there. Start off in Anaheim. Look at Mason McTavish. He listed as a left winger, only owned in 27% of Yahoo leagues. He's 19 years old, playing on that second line right now, and they've only played 1 game. He put up 2 points in that 1 game. He is really a young, talented player. Really might be worth a short-term stream like those 3 games. See if it keeps going. You might actually decide to keep him on your roster as a longer-term option because he does have that talent. It's just a matter of, with younger players, if he can provide that consistency for you. Another one in Anaheim's Ryan Strome. He's listed as a center, only owned in 15% of Yahoo leagues. He's 29 years old, playing on that second line and top power play unit. He had a hell of a first game, put up 3 points in the 1 game there. Obviously, he's not going to keep up that kind of production, but he will be a very good option for you when you have condensed schedules or a 4-game week there. And with that low of ownership, there's a good chance that you will be able to get him. Going over to Boston, look at Taylor Hall. He's listed as a left winger, owned in 63% of Yahoo leagues. He's 30 years old now, playing on that top line and top power play unit. He has 1 goal in 1 game played, so yeah, he's not going to average a point per game, but he's put up 61 points last year there, so he's obviously a decent pickup on a 4-game week there. Another one's Jake DeBrusk. He's listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 19% of Yahoo leagues, 25 years old. Slated to be on that top line with Marchand out, second power play unit and second PK unit. Last year he put up 42 points in 77 games played. Right now, he's day-to-day with an upper body injury. He did leave in the middle of that game, and he didn't practice on Friday, so do check out his health status before you stream him, but he might be a decent option if he gets his health back in check there. Another one in Boston's Pavel Zacha, listed as center left winger, only owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the second line and second power play unit. Put up a point in his first game, had 3 shots on goal. He seems to be fitting in nicely in his new surroundings and playing in the top 6. Should be a viable option, especially on a 4-game week there. And the last one from Boston's David Krejci, listed as a center, owned in 16% of Yahoo leagues. He's 36 years old, so up there in age, obviously. But second line and also getting top unit power play time. He had 3 points in his NHL return. We know from the past what he can do. He obviously won't keep up the 3 points, but he'll be a steady, safe option for you if some other players aren't available, and especially on a condensed schedule, should provide some value for you. Going over to LA, look at Victor Arvidsson, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues. He's 29 years old, playing on the second line, second power play unit. He's put up 49 points in 66 games played last year, had 227 shots on goal in 66 games, and 45 blocks. He did miss his last game with an illness, but he should be ready for the start of the week. Normally he's only out 1 or 2 days for those kind of mishaps, so to speak, there, but he should be a viable option, especially with that 3 games in the first 4 nights there. Another one from LA is Philip Daniel, owned in 18% of Yahoo leagues, listed as a center, plays on that second line and second penalty kill unit. It was a slow start in the first 2 games played there, but he put up 51 points in 79 games last year, and he should be a viable option, especially with that condensed schedule to start the week for LA. Another one from LA is Gabriel Velarde, listed as a left wing, right wing, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, so should be available pretty much everywhere. He's only 23 years old. Playing on that third line right now, gets second power play time, but that third line has been pretty good to start. He's put up 2 points in his first 2 games there, and he's getting over 2 minutes of more ice time per game than what he finished with last year. So with that added ice time, obviously should hopefully increase his production there. So could be a good option if he keeps that ice time up, and especially with that condensed schedule. And the last one's Andrei Kuzmenko in Vancouver there, listed as a left winger, owned in 38% of Yahoo leagues, playing on that second line with Pettersson, getting top unit power play time. He had 1 point in his first NHL game there. He was really good in the KHL last year, and I watched that first Vancouver game there. He was all over the ice. He was buzzing around, so I really do think he could add some value, especially with that condensed schedule. So now we'll go to some D-men that have 4 games this week that we haven't mentioned yet there. And we'll start off in Colorado. Look at Samuel Girard. He's owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues. He's 24 years old. Playing on the second pairing, second power play unit, and second PK unit. Put up 28 points in 67 games played. He did have 90 blocks. He's not the sexiest pick, obviously, because he is behind a couple of guys in Makar and Byram there. But with a 4-game week, and if it is a deeper league, he might be able to provide some value for you. Next one's Adam Boquist in Columbus, owned in 15% of Yahoo leagues. He's 22 years old, playing on that top pairing and second power play unit there. Put up 22 points in 52 games last year, so under half point per game there, but he does have a lot of offensive talent. He's getting more opportunity, getting bumped up to that top pairing where it might help him break out being paired with Werenski there. Next one's Vladislav Gavrikov. He's owned in only 3% of Yahoo leagues. He's 26 years old. Plays on the second pairing and second penalty kill unit. Last year he put up 33 points in 80 games played. He had 138 blocks, 124 hits. He really is right now at this point a safer pick than Boquist. He just has less offensive upside, but he'd be more of your well-rounded option there for you. Next one's over for the Islanders, Ryan Pulock, owned in 27% of Yahoo leagues. He's 28 years old, playing top pairing, second power play unit, and second PK unit. Last year he was injured. He only had 21 points in 56 games played. He had 130 blocks though in only 56 games. He's a decent depth option with it being a 4-game week, especially in a deeper league there. Going over to Philly, look at Ivan Provorov, owned in 46% of Yahoo leagues, 25 years old, playing on the top pairing, second power play unit, and second PK. Only played one game so far this year, but he had a hell of a game. He put up 2 points, he had 3 shots on goal, he had 10 blocks, 5 hits. Of course, he isn't going to keep that up, but just trying to show you that he really is a well-rounded option where he should provide some value, especially in 4-game weeks there. Another one in Philly is Travis Sanheim, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues. Probably enjoying that nice paycheck he just got the other day. Nice. He got paid pretty well there. Owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, 26 years old. Playing second pairing, second power play unit, and top PK unit. Last year he put up 31 points in 80 games played. He did have 142 blocks. He will be a safe pickup in deeper leagues. Provorov would be my top choice, obviously, but if he isn't available or some of the other guys that we've mentioned, he'd be a safe option for you with it being a 4-game week. And the last one's Mario Ferraro in San Jose. He's owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues. He's 24 years old. Plays in the top pairing, second power play unit, and top penalty kill unit. So far, he's put up 2 points in his 2 games played there. He's had 4 shots on goal and 8 blocks, like a ton of blocks. He obviously he's getting a ton of ice time right now with Burns being moved out and obviously San Jose being a lack of depth team, I guess you could say. He has okay stats other than plus minus, so should be a decent option for you other than plus minus, obviously, in deeper leagues and them having a 4-game week there. So now we'll cover the rest of the forwards that have 4-game weeks of teams that we haven't mentioned so far. And look at Arturi Lehkonen in Colorado, listed as left wing, right wing, owned in 53% of Yahoo leagues. Playing on that top line, top power play unit there. So far he's put up 4 points in his first 2 games there. He's had 5 shots on goal. I have to say, he seems to be fitting in really nicely in Colorado and on that top line. Next one's Boone Jenner in Columbus, listed as a center, owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues. He's 29 years old, playing on the top line, top power play unit, second PK unit, playing in all situations there. Last year he put up 44 points in 59 games played there, and he also had 56 blocks in 59 games, which ton of blocks for a forward there. He's an okay option with it being a 4-game week with. He's going to lose a little bit of value with Laine being out 3 to 4 weeks, one of his line mates there, but should be an okay option, as I mentioned, with it being a 4-game week. Another one in Columbus is Jakub Voracek, listed as left wing, right wing, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues. He's up there in age, 33 years old, playing on the second line, but getting top unit power play time. Put up 62 points in 79 games played. Yes, he is aging, but he's a safe offensive pickup. Doesn't provide a lot of hits or blocks, but if it's a scoring league, he'll provide some value there for you. Next one's Matt Barzal on the Islanders there, listed as a center, owned in 65% of Yahoo leagues, so just makes that 65% threshold there. He's 25 years old, playing on the second line, top power play unit, put up 59 points in 73 games played. He really is a good offensive player there. With Trotz gone, he might produce like he did before Trotz came there. And with it being a 4-game week, I think he could provide some really great value, especially in your scoring leagues. Next one is Brock Nelson from the Islanders, listed as a center, owned in 39% of Yahoo leagues. 30 years old, plays on the top line, top power play unit. Last year he put up 59 points in 72 games played, had 37 goals. So if goals are counted in your league, that's where he provides some obviously added value for you if they're weighted a little higher there. He'll be a solid pickup on a 4-game week if you got room on your roster there. Next one from the Islanders is Anders Lee. He's listed as a left winger, owned in 27% of Yahoo leagues. 32 years old, plays on the top line and top power play unit. Last year, 46 points in 76 games played. But he started out really slow, and then he got really hot, and then he kind of died down. So he is a little streaky, but if you catch him at the right time, you will love him. Catch him at the wrong time, might be a little frustrated with him there. Next one's over in Philly. Look at Travis Konechny, listed as a right winger, owned in 21% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line, top power play unit, second PK unit. So far, he put up 2 goals in his lone game played so far. He has talent. The big question mark is if the players around him can stay healthy. Philly was really decimated by injury. They already got Couturier out, Atkinson, etc. So as long as they stay healthy, Konechny should produce for you there. Next one in Philly is Kevin Hayes, listed as a center, only owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues. He's 30 years old, plays in the top line, top power play unit, second penalty kill unit. He had 2 assists in the one game played, both on Konechny's goals there. He is playing with Konechny, as mentioned there. Health is the biggest concern. Can he stay healthy? Can Philly's forwards stay healthy? But on a 4-game week, we know they're healthier than last year anyways. So it might be a good option as a streaming on a 4-game week there. Go over to San Jose. Look at Luke Kunin, listed as left wing, right wing, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues. He's 24 years old. He's playing on the top line, top power play unit, top PK unit. So far, he has 2 points in the 2 games played. Obviously, he's playing with Hurdle and Meyer. That should obviously help him produce, and he is producing, getting way more opportunity than he would have in Nashville there, as San Jose lacks the depth and they need Kunin there. So with that, he's taken advantage so far. Will it keep up? Hard to say, but might be worth streaming on a 4-game week, see how it goes, and then drop him from there, or keep him if he keeps producing. Another one in San Jose's Logan Couture, listed as a center, owned in 31% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the second line and top power play unit and top penalty kill unit. He has 1 goal in 2 games played. He really is a steady Eddie. He's a safe pick. Other than plus minus, he's your veteran that's going to be decent in all kinds of categories for you. He won't wow you, but he won't hurt you by any means. So it'd be a nice safe pick up there. And the last one in San Jose is Kevin LeBlanc. He's listed as left wing, right wing, owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, playing on that second line with Couture and playing on the second power play unit. He's not the greatest pick, but he has shown some flashes in the past where he has some offensive potential there. So he's really only consider him as an offensive player in a really, really deep league, but do mention him because he does get top 6 minutes and he does get some power play time there. So that's it for today's episode. We will be out in a bit with our waiver wire episode in a few days and our weekend ads episode. If you did enjoy it, please remember to hit like, hit subscribe, and remember that notification bell if you're watching via YouTube. If you're listening via podcast, remember to hit follow, subscribe, that heart, etc., depending what kind of platform you're listening on. And good luck in week 2 there, fantasy owners.